Fluorescence Quantitative Immunochromatography Test Card Operation Video. Need to prepare instruments, reagents, consumables. The test card can be removed from the refrigerator 2 hours before the test and equilibrated to room temperature. Please read the test card instructions carefully before starting the test. Get started. Turn on the instrument. Start up. Device initialization. Device heating up. Ready. Take out the grinder and the sample ready for testing. Open the grinder cover. Open the sample bag to be tested. Pour the sample directly into the grinder. Close the lid tightly. Start grinding. Sample grinding is complete. Turn off the grinder. Unscrew the lid. Put 20 mesh screen on paper. Pour the ground sample onto the 20 mesh screen. Screening is over. Pour the sieved samples into a Ziploc bag for later use. Mix the sample as thoroughly as possible. Improve uniformity. Turn on the balance. Put on the weighing paper. Reset to 0. Remove the ground sample from the Ziploc bag with a medicine spoon. When weighing the sample, take as many points as possible. Weighing is complete. Pour the weight 5 gram sample into a 50 ml centrifuge tube. Spare. Prepare 50% ethanol extract. First rinse the graduated cylinder 3 times with absolute ethanol. The first time, the second time, the third time. Because 40 ml of 50% ethanol extract is required, we need to prepare more than 40 ml for spare. First measure out 30 ml of absolute ethanol with a graduated cylinder. Pour into prepared container. Remove purified water. Rinse the graduated cylinder 3 times as well. Use a graduated cylinder to measure 30 ml of purified water in the same amount as anhydrous ethanol. Pour into prepared container. Tighten the lid and shake the container gently to mix the liquid well and set aside. After rinsing the graduated cylinder 3 times with the prepared 50% ethanol, measure 40 ml of the 50% ethanol extract. Configure ethanol when it is used as much as possible. Pour into a 50 ml centrifuge tube that has weighed 5 grams of the sample. Screw on the cap and shake quickly to dissolve the sample until it does not adhere to the tube wall. Shake for 3 minutes using a vortexer at 2,500 revolutions per minute. Shake over. Transfer the mixed solution to 2 2 ml centrifuge tubes in equal amounts. Symmetrically placed in the centrifuge. Centrifuge in a 4,000 revolutions per minute centrifuge for 3 minutes. Centrifugation is over. Turn off the centrifuge. Take out the centrifuge liquid. We see that the solid-liquid separation has been achieved, so the above liquid is the supernatant we will use in the next step. There are 2 other ways to obtain the supernatant. One is to directly centrifuge the liquid to be tested in a 50 ml centrifuge tube without transferring. The second is to replace the centrifugation step with filter paper filtration. Take out the diluent, microwell, and test card. Take the 100 to 1000 microliters pipette and set it to 1000 microliters. Pipette 1000 microliters of sample diluent into a 2 ml centrifuge tube. The pipette tip is single-use to avoid cross-contamination. There are 2 gears for pressing the pipette. We use the first gear. For convenience, we adjusted the 20 to 200 microliters pipette to 60 microliters. Export 60 microliters twice of the supernatant. After centrifugation, add to 1000 microliters of sample diluent. Cover the lid, shake to mix, and wait for the test. In the absence of a vortex meter, handshaking can be substituted. What if the sample contains toxins above the maximum detection limit of this test? The supernatant should be mixed 1:1 with 50% ethanol solution. For example, first, use a pipette to take 500 microliters of the supernatant into a 2 ml centrifuge tube. Then use a pipette to take 500 microliters of 50% ethanol solution into the supernatant. Close the lid. Shake and mix. Repeat the step of adding the sample diluent to the supernatant. Take 1000 microliters of sample diluent into a 2 ml centrifuge tube. Aspirate 60 microliters twice, double diluted, of the supernatant. Add to 1000 microliters of sample diluent. Close the lid, shake and mix. After the test result is obtained, it is calculated by double. Take out the microwell and test card. Aspirate 60 microliters twice, of the sample to be tested. Add 2 fluorescent microsphere light-filtrate microwells. Repeated pipetting and mixing 15 to 20 times. Control completed in 10 seconds. Can suck less and beat less, and try to avoid a lot of air bubbles. No need to wait for the bubbles to disappear. Immediately remove 60 microliters of liquid from the microwell. Add it to the test card. Avoid foaming on the pipette. Open the lid of the incubator. Immediately move the detection card in parallel to the server. Close the lid. Click the Start button and incubate for 7 minutes automatically. Take out the ID card from the detection card box. Select the ID card corresponding to the sample and insert it into the hole on the left, and when you hear a beep, the curve is read successfully. Click on Quick Test. When the 7 minutes incubation time is up, take out the test card immediately. Insert the QR code into the right hole with the direction facing inward and click the Quick Test button in the lower left corner to display the automatic scanning reagent strip. Detection completed. Read the data. You can also click the Print button to print the results. Test cards, microwells, sample diluents, and ID cards from different batches cannot be mixed. Place the incubator and the reader together as much as possible. Incubate immediately after spotting and read immediately after incubation.